Good morning, watch fans. This is Big Jim with the Big Wrist, talking about my road to luxury watches and why Homages fit in there so well. I started off like everybody else, loving the Sub, the Rolex Sub. It is an icon of a watch. It has everything everybody ever wants, and it's been in movies and TVs, and people talk about it constantly. So, of course, being the cheap person that I am, I didn't actually buy a Sub off the bat. I bought an SKX right off the bat, and great watch. This is a modified SKX, but this is what I bought. It's a great watch. I like it. Good bezel, everything about it I like. I even like the Jubilee. I'm a big fan of this Jubilee. So, great watch, but it didn't have snowflakes. It didn't have, it didn't have Mercedes. So I got another SKX, another modified SKX. This one came on the Jubilee, but I have it on rubber now. And it has the Mercedes hands, the classic Rolex Mercedes. Turns out, I like them, but I don't love them. I'm not sure I want that on a $7,000 watch. So I look somewhere else. I thought, you know what? A non-Mercedes Rolex. And the reason why I wanted a Rolex was because, it is an icon for a watch collector. Getting a Rolex watch, is a rite of passage. It's something every single watch collector at least plays with the idea, and if he finds the one he likes and he can afford, he buys a Rolex. I found the one I like and can afford, and I bought a Rolex. But getting there took 18 months, maybe? It took a while. So I decided to look at non... I take that back. Also, the Sub I was looking at, original Sub clone I bought was a Steinhart. It had a cyclops. I hated the cyclops. Hate, hate, hate. So I knew off the bat, whatever I bought didn't have a cyclops. So that solved that problem. So I saw the Explorer 1. And I said, wow, great looking watch. Mercedes hands again, but nice big indices. Everything's readable. Great bracelet. So I bought this clone. And I actually have 6 versions of an Explorer 1. I've had at least 9, but I think I still have 5 or 6. And this is the one that I like the best. This is what convinced me not to buy an Explorer. This is a great watch. This is a 900 series, a 9015 Miyota movement, keeps 3 seconds. It has a 6-hour loom. Seriously, the loom is unbelievable. The bracelet is extremely comfortable, and it's a copy of the Glide Lock, which doesn't come on the Explorer anymore. And I love the Glide Lock. The Glide Lock bracelet, it's just amazing. It works great. Comes on the Sub. So, I thought, wow, this is a great watch. But again, I'm not sure $5,800 difference in price makes it worth buying the Explorer. And I did try on a couple of Explorer 1s here in Las Vegas locally. I've tried on a 36 and a 39. They were both used, but very nice watches. And they are identical in size to this watch. They are identical in size to the OP39. And this costs $1,000 less and doesn't have Mercedes hands. So that's one of the reasons why I eventually got here. But I still was stuck on the Explorer. And I was like, wow, I really like this watch. It's got a lot of things I like about it. But for $250, this is hard to beat. But I still wanted a luxury watch that meets those criteria that doesn't have Mercedes hands. So I saw the Tudor. And of course, the Tudor has snowflake hands, like this one. This is another Seiko SKX 007 modified to be the Pelagos mod. And it has snowflake hands, and I really like them. Love the snowflake hands, love the ceramic bezel, love everything about it. But I'm not really a diver anymore. When I do dive, I dive with a G-Shock. So, this is going to be my luxury watch, and I really didn't want a diver. So, the Tudor Heritage Black Day 41. I bought this about a year ago. I sold 18 watches in 1 month, raised a little over $2,000. Fell in love with this watch. Could not find it in my price range on steel, like this is now on steel. I could find it on leather for under $2,000, so I bought it on leather. And of course, the big giant wrist. it came on a band that only fit 7 3/4. So I scrambled around, bought another band, stretched the band, bought another band, and finally put it on a leather from Barton straps, of course, saved the day. Came through with a great strap, not sponsored, by the way. I put it on that strap. But I still really wanted steel, and then I went to an AD and physically played with a blue version of the watch and went, oh my God, the blue, look at that blue. And so I looked around for this watch on steel. So I could put this on rubber and this on steel, and then have what I wanted eventually. So I found this for with a big giant scratch in the bezel right here, used. Only one I ever bought that had damage on it. Had a big scratch right up there. And I only paid $2,000 for it on steel with the spare Everest strap, which I already did a video on. So I put the steel one on this, and this is my daily go-to watch. I wear this more than any watch right here. I wear this all the time. This is my go-to. Turns out this is the version. Tudor came up with a great version of the Explorer without using Mercedes hands. Just love it. Fantastic watch. Great lume. So I bought this on blue, and loved it. But unfortunately, when I bought this for $2,000, I had $7,000 to spend, and did consider buying, a higher end Rolex. I was looking at a couple of different Rolexes, and I had $7,000 to spend. And this was two that left me $5,000, and Milgauss kind of got my attention, and a few other things got my attention, but then an OP39 in blue popped up on Watchbox. $5,500. I followed the Urban Gentry. He used to work for them, and he had a $250 coupon. So I applied that coupon and got it down to $5,200 delivered. And I got this right at the beginning of the pandemic. Ordered it like March 10th. I ordered this like March 9th, and a day later I ordered this on March 10th. And finally got it in hand, and new and unworn, like new in the box and unworn. Box and tags, everything, $5,200 delivered. And I am so glad I did not buy an Explorer. I really am. Because the Explorer shares the exact same case, the exact same crown. Everything about the Explorer is the same except for the dial. And the bezel's different on the Explorer. But really, they are geometrically identical. This is, of course, is a clone. It's 1 millimeter thicker than the Explorer, but everything else about it is exactly the same, except for the movement, of course. But dimensionally, it's very similar. Even the bracelets, look how close those bracelets are. They're pretty good. So this watch spoiled me for a $250 clone. Wow, amazing. This watch, of course, is $5,000 for a reason. Has easily the best bracelet I've ever touched. Really amazing. Look how supple that is. It's just so smooth. Great simple clasp. It has 3 micros, I believe, or 2 or 3 micros in there that are hard to see, but they're there. Yeah, there's one there, and one in the middle. There's one, I'll show you real quick. There's one right there. There's one, it's on number 2, and number 3 is behind it. So, very simple, easy to use. Very sturdy watch, waterproof. It's got a very small crown, which is a problem. This actually has a better sized crown, but it's not a smoother crown. But this thing is buttery smooth and super accurate, keeps 2 seconds. On the wrist, it keeps about +3 or 4 on its side, and keeps about +6 on the crown. So it's best like this, or it's best basically like this. Keeps 2 seconds when it's on the wrist and walking around. For some reason. Anyways, I used to have a watch winder, and I couldn't stand the noise. I had to get rid of them. So anyways, that was my journey to Rolex. It was kind of convoluted. I have a lot of other watches that are clones and similar and share the DNA. I mean, every watch shares another's DNA probably. I don't think anything's original anymore. But that's why I got here. And I ended up buying these 2 watches in the same week. Spent $7,000 and got 2 iconic watches that are unbelievable. They both fit great. This on rubber is amazing. It is easily the best sports watch I own. And this is my dress watch now, and this is my daily. I could probably live with these 3 watches as just my 3 forever. I could sell everything else, and I am considering selling a lot of watches. I could sell everything else and live with just these 3 and be really, really happy. So this has been Jim on the Big Wrist. I really, really hope you enjoyed my journey to Rolex. And I didn't really fall for the hype train. I'm not a Mercedes hands fan, so I probably won't buy a Rolex as a Mercedes hand, but I probably will buy another Rolex at some point without something without a magnifier, and a cyclops, and something without a Mercedes hands. But great watches, a lot of fun to wear. Really, really costs a lot of money for a reason, because they are exceptionally well made watches. Not the best made watches, but they are exceptionally well made watches. And Rolex has the best marketing team on the planet, so they know what they're doing. People love them for a reason. It's not hype. It is really a good watch. So I hope you enjoyed this. This has been Big Jim on the Big Wrist. And please like, subscribe, and tell a friend, and have an awesome day.